What's going on today, people? Today is a special one. This your boy Tune, YBE and today I'm gonna give you some sauce on how to start your kids to become entrepreneurs. Now, this one right here is like on some real stuff. Let's just dive straight into it. My kids are young. I got an 8-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 18-year-old kid that I'm working with right now. So one of the ways that I'm working with them is basically building up their business mind. Now, this is one of the easiest things that you could do to start your children out, is flood them with information, right? So I got a personal credit course and a business credit course, right? And it's easy to learn and it's easy to, push the agenda forward or whatnot, right? Now, I'm not even gonna say use mine. I'm just saying there's so much information. Let's just say you go on YouTube and you go find about 10 videos. You could possibly watch them yourself, or you could just have your children watch them and see what they learned. You know what I'm saying? So to make a long story short, let's just say with my children, I made them watch my business credit course. Now, the business credit course shows them the things that they need to get established in the business, like a logo, website, you know what I'm saying? What's business credit? Why is it important? And they understand the structure of the business, right? So I started them off to get a general idea of what they're looking forward to and what they can do. And even at a young age where they may not be using this stuff because they're too young for the most part to be getting the LLC. My son is too young. My daughter just turned 18. So, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna be a lot more useful for her now. But before, when she was 17, it wasn't as useful, but she did know the information. So when she do turn of age, she could use it. Now, with that being said, let's move on. They get the basics of the stuff and they get some of the stuff that's a little bit more advanced, right? But then one of the biggest things is showing them freedom, giving them exercises around the house to show them the freedom of being your own boss. Now, also, when they get the freedom part, they gonna love that. But the one part that they may not love is the responsibility. So, you know what I'm saying? You show them the trade-off, like, hey, look, when you're working for somebody, you just, for the most part, you just take your time and you just go to the job, get there on time, show up, do the job, go home. Now, that it may seem like is a lot, but in all actuality, it's so much behind the scenes stuff going on and so much responsibility going on behind the scenes that you don't understand how much work you dodging and how much stuff you don't have to deal with just by working the job. You know what I'm saying? You got that, and then you got that guaranteed paycheck. You know what I'm saying? And you get overtime and all those other things. You give them that and let them see it, but you let them see how you always disposable at a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're useful as long as you're useful. You know what I'm saying? At a job. So you kind of show them how you could work for a company for 10 years. If they could, and you can do this amazing job and they'll have you to train your replacement. And you show them things of that nature and you give them that game. You know what I'm saying? And then you show them, last but not least, I have the conversation with the children of, you can never be your boss's next door neighbor. You'll never be your boss's next door neighbor because you'll never make what the owner makes. That's just it, that's all. You will not be their next door neighbor. Now, like, it's certain instances where you possibly can, if you take the money and you invest it, do something else, and you hit it big or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, that's not the way the game is set up. That is the exception to the rule, not the actual rule. You know what I'm saying? You'll never get that. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Just giving these kids that and letting them know, like, man, look, man, at the end of the day, you want to be able to kick it. You want to be able to call your own, demand your own time. Be able to, you know what I'm saying, rub some feet, talk the way you like to talk. Like, I like being able to have the freedom to not have to be professional. Like, I don't like being professional. Professional does not feel good to me. I just don't, it's just not one of those things. Now, when I have to be professional, when I'm meeting with somebody and I want them to take me serious and I want them to look and say, hey, look, I want to do business with you, blah, 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 I can be professional. But honestly, when you dealing in, you manufacturing things, or you go into someone's store and you want to put your products in a store, depending on the products, you don't necessarily need a person to see you as a professional in a certain instance. Like, yes, you want them to know that you have respect, but you ain't got to be well spoken. When I drop off my clothes at the clothing store, I'm like, what's the word, bro? Hey, look, I just came to restock, but blah, blah, blah. But then my professionalism speak in my inventory. So when I'm doing my inventory, that's when the professionalism come in. Because it's like, man, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do what I need to do. And you know what I'm saying? Get this stuff restocked, and I'm gonna leave you with paperwork showing you what sold, what didn't sell, what I restocked, blah, 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 this, that, and this. Cool. But then when I come back to you and I say, okay, so this is what you owe me, this is what I put back in there, blah, 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 this, and this. And you know what I'm saying? That's where the professionalism come in at. But my language, I ain't gotta be like that in a hood store. I walk in, what's the word, man? What y'all got going on? Hey, Brody, what's to you, bro? Hey, man, you already know what time it is, boy. Hey, I seen you on Facebook. Who's the old girl? Hey, she was crazy. Oh, that's your old lady? Okay, I'm seeing you. Hey, Buick just ain't good enough for you, huh, bro? You just got to pull up in a Lamborghini, huh? Okay, I'm feeling you, bro. Like, I could do that. And another thing is, like, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to establish the respect and teaching the kids that. So, like, just teaching the kids and showing them the freedom of certain freedoms, and with kids, like, man, honestly, showing them the freedoms and showing them the difference in money. Like, you can only make so much. Like, you can only make so much at a job. Like, where you can make $20, $30 an hour, you know what I'm saying, as this because that's what it merits, or where you get a salary of this because that's what it merits. When you have a business, it is unlimited what you can make. And being able to explain that to a child and getting them to open their mind at a young age is like, okay, even if you just use, for example, a lemonade stand, you say, okay, son, if you got a lemonade stand, how much do you think you can make a day? Bottom line. What do you think you can make? $200. Okay, $200 a day. You making $200 a day. So now, off of this lemonade stand, you make $200 a day. Now you do that for 5 days a week. How much is that? That's $1,000 a week, right? And you got 2 days off. Yeah, well, if you work those 2 days, you making $1,400 a week, and you're just doing that for a little while, just to sacrifice, right? They say, yeah, like, okay, so what would your next step be so you can make more money than that because you control your money? Like, make another lemonade stand. Yeah, exactly. So now you make another lemonade stand. So what happens then? Now how much do you make? Like, well, if that one does $1,400 a week, or let's just say $1,000 a week, because we're gonna start off low, $1,000 a week. How much you gonna pay them to sell it? Well, a kid will sell it for about $300 a week. Like, yeah, $300 a week. So that saves you another $700. How much is it to make the lemonade? Probably about $50 to make 1,000. Okay, cool. So you $50 to make 1,000, and then you reinvest in about $100, $50 a week. You reinvesting because you want to start making the lemonade stands more professionally, right? So now you got that going. So now you wash, rinse, and repeat, and now you got 5 lemonade stands. You've done that within a year. 5 lemonade stands, and you are bringing in at least $500 from each lemonade stand. So now, plus the ones that you do, which is $1,500. So now per week, you doing about $2,500, $3,500, right? Okay, so now you doing, let's just say, $2,800 a week. So now your lemonade is getting popular within your community because you got them on the south side, the north side, the east side, the west side, lemonade stands set all up, right? And they like, yeah, okay. So now what do? Now you going out and you buying bottles. So you go and you get you some bottles manufactured and you put them lemonades in bottles, right? You get them packaged, you get them sealed. You get all your artwork done. You get it sealed, and now your lemonade look like the lemonade in the store. Now you going to shop it to the neighborhood store. Hey, look, this lemonade right here sells for $3, or what's the name? So you could get it for $3. So you can get it for $1.20. Okay, each one you get for $1.20. You sell it for $3, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna promote it and tell my people that when they in this area, they could pick up the lemonade from here, and I'll promote it. And out of 10 stores, you get 3. Now you wholesaling every week to the stores. Now you just making drop-offs, then you doing your lemonade stand. Now over the next year, you do 5 more, and then the year after that, you do 5 more. Now in 3 years, you got 15 lemonade stands in 10 stores. And the stores, you making $500 to $600 a week. Now off the lemonades, you making $5,000 or $6,000 per week off lemonades. Now the numbers may be loose, but at the end of the day, it could be more or less. But the point is that with a business, you can make as much as you can mine. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can will something or put your mind to it and come up with new ways to make money while you're not there. That's how it is when you're a business owner. You can do that, but you can't do that as a job because you just go, you do the job, and when you show up, you do the job, you get paid for it. You can't build residual income off a job. A job is about you showing up and doing the work. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where you got to really look at it, that teaching your kids that, showing them the freedom of that, and then letting them see it in person. Take them to an event somewhere, talk to the people about what they make, let them see it, let them feel it, let them work with some entrepreneurs and get a decent paycheck, and then let them know that they can start their own thing. Or like they got gun shows, they got they got all different types of trade shows throughout the country. Look up some of the trade shows, farmers markets and things of that nature, and see if you can have your kids work with somebody and see what they can do so they could get their own booth once. Booths don't even cost that much. You probably be out of $50. Get them a product, put them out there to make the money, let them make the money. Hit, miss, just let them go out there and get started and try, and you won't be disappointed. Take it from a man with kids with thousands of dollars at a very young age. My son ain't even 10 yet, and he got a couple grand that he made himself. So you already know, this your boy Toom signing off. If you don't want to end up in a box, think outside of it. My